I wanted to talk about the sponsor, which is 9inch. So we all know about 1inch. There's 9inch. We've just pinned it above. So they're designed to be the #1 DEX and yield farming platform for meme coins. Now, I know nothing about meme coins. I'm probably the worst one to discuss about meme coins, but this is their focus. So if you're someone that enjoys the next Doink or Dick Butts or whatever coin that's launching, check out 9inch. They're already the mainstream DEX for Pulse Chain and Ethereum. I'm going to actually check it out today. So it's a highly optimized DEX. Hexy, how are you? Hexy? You got to unmute, man.
GM, sorry. I was just waiting for you guys to get on with what you're doing. GM, guys, thanks for having me on.
Man, who came up with the name 9inch?
It was a friend of mine who I was hanging out with down in London. He said, you know how we've got 1inch.io? What if you did 9inch.io? And
yeah, but why don't go with the But man, you got to reach out to the mass audience. The average penis size, I've looked it up, is 4.5 inch. Why go all the way to 9? I don't know where you come up with that name, but I'm sure it's going to get the attention. Look, for anyone that doesn't know, 9inch is a DEX. I'm going to try to give you a quick overview. It's a DEX focused on meme coins. Really that simple. You're going to tell us why you guys are going to lead the meme coin, lead meme coin trading. Are you already leading? Any metrics to share? But tell us more about what 9inch is and why people should bother checking it out over 1inch and others.
Yeah, so 9inch is essentially a decentralized exchange. It's a fork of PancakeSwap with a few improvements. We're going for the meme coin, space, the meme coin niche, because we feel like it's a quite underserviced part of crypto. Everyone knows about meme coins, but usually they would just trade them on Uniswap or centralized exchanges, things like that. We thought that this would be quite a good niche to go for, because whether you love meme coins or hate them, I actually used to be hugely against meme coins a couple of years ago, but you can't argue with the volume and the attention that they bring to the space in general. Obviously the name 9inch, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a little bit, it's a little bit of a stretch for most people. It's
a good day. I'm just messing with you, man. It definitely grabs attention. But how will you become are you any metrics to share, and how will you become #1 when it comes to meme coins? So any meme coin traders right now, what's their incentive to go out and check out 9inch? And just by the way, anyone listening, if you want to check it out, it's pinned. The tweet is pinned at the top, and Hexy and 9inch are both on stage. But why should they check it out? What makes you different?
So we're different because of the branding potential that we got. We're also coming into the space with a huge following from the Pulse Chain, Hex and Pulse Chain community. So I've been, I hate the term influencer, but I've been an influencer, I suppose, in the Hex and Pulse Chain community for like almost 3 years now. Got quite a good name for myself over there. And those guys support me massively. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to bridge the gap over on the Ethereum side. We're bringing the tokenomics of PulseX. If any of you are familiar with that, they've got a thing on there based on volume. There's a buy and burn on the core token PulseX. We've got the same thing with 9inch. So as volume goes through the DEX, it benefits 9inch holders because we're constantly buying and burning the tokens. The incentive for the meme coin guys to come over is that we're going to have liquidity farms and single-sided staking pools. So that's going to encourage people over, a little bit like SushiSwap did. So if your coin, so the 9inch token is a DAO token. So if you own some of those, you can vote for your token to have a liquidity farm, and you can go in there, and then by staking your LP, you will receive a bonus token, which is called Big Bonus Coin, aka BBC. Definitely nothing dirty about that one. So yeah, it's basically we're gonna kind of vampire attack, but in a sort of handshake way. So we're gonna try and remove liquidity from Uniswap by looking after people a little bit better over on our side by rewarding them for putting the LP on our side. Very similar to PancakeSwap, except we've got the advanced tokenomics of having buy and burn pressure based upon the volume that goes through the DEX.
What's your liquidity like? Any metrics to share? And have you raised any money? How'd you get to where you are today?
Yeah, so on liquidity at the moment, I think we're somewhere in the region of like 26 million across both Ethereum and Pulse Chain. We're already the #2 DEX on Pulse Chain. We're currently doing about 10% of the volume that PulseX is doing, which is quite amazing already. For a short while, we were
what percentage of PulseX?
About 10%.
Okay. How long have you been around for?
Today marks 2 weeks.
Oh shit, you're brand new. Congratulations.
Yeah. We literally launched. In fact, I think it's 13 days actually. Let me be accurate. Yeah, 13 days. We've been around. We've been the #2 DEX on Pulse Chain ever since we launched. For a short while, we were #2 on Ethereum as well. I think we're third at the moment. I haven't checked it today. But really, I mean, my aim here is to kind of bridge the gap between the Pulse Chain and the Ethereum ecosystem, because Pulse Chain is essentially the same as Ethereum. It's just the fees are way cheaper. So I did some transactions on 9inch myself today. I added some liquidity. Cost me about $50 to do that on Ethereum, but on Pulse Chain it cost me a penny. So that's kind of what we're trying to do here. But realistically, we're trying to eat Uniswap's lunch. We're not entirely keen. I'm sure a lot of people who have been following the saga of Uniswap lately aren't entirely keen on some of the things that they're bringing in the future, as in KYC, and they're also raising the fees. So we've got better fees, and there's absolutely no KYC, and we don't intend that there ever will be. So yeah, we're just trying to bring liquidity on Ethereum over to a place where you're going to be treated better. We've got a better front end, we've got additional features, better UI. The branding's amazing. If anyone goes and checks out 9inch.io, there's just memes out the yin yang all over the place. For example, you don't add liquidity, you insert it, and you don't remove liquidity, you pull it out. So just little jokes like that all over the place, and we're a very memorable brand. I mean, you see that big eggplant sat there. You know, it's quite easy to remember. It's a good name, and you know, we've got. I think like my influence bringing into the Ethereum space with all the Pulse Chain and Hex following that I've got. I mean, whether you like Richard Hart or you dislike Richard Hart, you can't argue with the following and the desire of his followers. They're very loud and they're very proud, and we're going to bring a little bit of an element of that to what we're doing here, but we're just going to do it with a little bit of a different flavor. I'm very different to Richard Hart in the way that I approach things. I'm very much trying to shake hands with everyone. I welcome anyone who has their own protocol to come and get listed on our DEX and bring some liquidity there. We have a website, it's 9inch.io/casting couch. If you want to get your token listed on there, you just have to fill out that form. And yeah, we're just looking to shake hands with everyone. We want to be the second largest DEX on Ethereum and Pulse Chain. If we do any kind of similar numbers to, even if we do 1% of the Uniswap volume, the amount of buy and burn pressure that we're going to have on our core token 9inch is going to be ridiculous. And I really hope that this thing pumps like hell during the bull market. I think we've launched at the perfect time as well. Just now, with the market starting to pump.
I agree. We're just like your timing is perfect. We're just talking with the guys. We're talking about meme coins, which I don't follow the meme coin market. I'm looking at your top tokens. So obviously your own token, which I want to learn more about. The utility of the token is #1. Then you got Pulse is #2, 2 million, and then the third one is where did the ETH go at 500k liquidity? And then you've
that's
got
one of our tokens as well. So there's a bit of an ecosystem here. So originally I'm the founder of a token called Poor Pleb PP. So it's all kind of tying in with dick jokes and stuff like that. So PP is my first token that I launched, and originally we came up with the idea for this because we wanted to do staking and liquidity farming for PP, and another token I'm involved in called Pulse Doge. We recently released Where Did the ETH Go? And if any of you are familiar with Richard Hart, that was quite a big meme about him when he did the Hex launch. Is he was getting all this Ethereum and everyone was like, where did the ETH go? So our logo is Richard in a sailor outfit. And we just kind of did that for a joke. We distributed it to everyone who was involved in 9inch. And that one has actually gone up about 700x since we launched it. So fantastic performance on that one. But we have our own little ecosystem here that we obviously intend to promote on the DEX, but it is a decentralized exchange. Anyone can come along and buy 9inch tokens and vote for a particular token or ticker to get added to the farms. We're going to do this monthly. So every month, new people can get added to the farm. So it is going to be very decentralized in that way. So yeah, I think as well, when new tokens do get listed on our farms, depending on our popularity and how much we grow, I think by getting your token of farm on there, you're probably going to see a bit of a pump as people ape in. Because as we all know, when a new liquidity farm is launched, the APY on that is absolutely ridiculous at the beginning until it fills up. So some of ours, when we launched them, they were at like millions of percent APY for a short time, which even if you're only in for like 10 minutes, that's really good. So yeah.
Yeah. How do you see your stuff getting out of the Pulse ecosystem? Because I'm looking at the first. Obviously, your coin is #1, #2 is Pulse, #3 is your meme coin, and that represents 90% of the liquidity. Then you've got a bunch of stables if you remove them. Then the next #7 is Pulse Dog. Pulse Dog number 8 is your coin again on ETH. Then Big Bonus Coin. I'm guessing so. Big Bonus Coin and Poor Pleb, are they both in the Pulse ecosystem?
Well, all of our tokens. So the ones in our ecosystem is 9inch, BBC, PP, PLD, Pulse Doge, and then where did the ETH go? All of these are on Ethereum and on Pulse Chain. So this is how we intend to do everything. And you can actually bridge over these tokens either to Pulse Chain or to Ethereum, and you can farm with them in that way as well. So it's quite easy to do that. The way that we intend to do it is simply by shaking hands. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with a character called the Dev. Hey, it's me, the Dev. Any of you know him?
Look, I'm really outside the meme coin world, man. I'm the worst at that, so I'm learning here.
Well, this guy's done videos with CZ, BitBoy, God, loads of guys. He's quite a viral figure in maybe it is more in the meme coin space, but if you didn't already know, he's the guy that developed Bitcoin. So I mean, geez, but that's kind of the meme, I suppose. He's one of the guys, that team there. We've onboarded them, and they're like a huge supporter of us. I've done a couple of videos with him already.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, we're just looking to shake hands. I mean, obviously the ETH crowd is very. It's very hard to break in there, but we've got a very unique approach. And the way that I've been developing my brand, the Hexy Bastard brand, we're just memeing the hell out of everything. So again, the low hanging fruit for us is the Richard Heart ecosystem, because I'm already kind of in there with all those guys. Most people know who I am already. So one of the things we're working on at the moment is, are any of you familiar with a film called The Highest of Stakes? Which came out recently, and it's sort of a documentary about Richard Heart and Hex and things like that. We're doing a parody of that called The Lowest of Stakes. So we've been out filming that over the last couple months, and having literally the time of my life filming this. It's absolutely hilarious. Things like this are going to help, because even people who dislike Richard Heart, of which I guess in the Ethereum general crypto space, there's quite a few. You either love him or you hate him, right? So this is going to attract the guys that hate him, because we're basically taking the piss out of him the whole way through the film in a nice way. We're not. I respect him, but yeah, we're just memeing him. So this is one of the approaches, but there's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, the thing is, money talks, right? So let's say, for example, Pepe, that's quite a popular one at the moment. When we release a Pepe farm, which we will be doing in the next few days, I believe, that's going to attract a lot of their users over, just simply on the fact that if they're LP providers anyway, they can come and provide LP here, and they get paid for the fact of doing it. So not only do they get their liquidity fees as normal, they also will get paid in the BBC token for farming with it. Another thing to quickly point out as well is that our fees are cheaper than Uniswap, and also we are more gas efficient than Uniswap as well. So we're about 20% cheaper on gas than Uniswap. So even if people aren't using us directly, we've all heard of 1inch and Matcha and CowSwap and things like that. These are aggregators. If you're looking to buy something on an aggregator and our liquidity is good and the fees are cheaper and the gas is cheaper, the aggregator is going to choose us. So that we're going to get a lot of users using us without even realizing they're using us, because all they do is scour the blockchain for the best deal. So if we've got lower fees and lower gas, it's quite likely that they're going to route via us. Now, this is only obviously for pairs that we've got liquidity on, but if we can entice these bigger coins like Pepe or Shiba Inu or whoever else to come and use our DEX instead, then it's quite likely that all the aggregators are going to use us. And when the aggregators do use us, that means that the 9inch holders get to benefit from the additional buy and burn. There was a time where Pepe was doing over $100 million of volume every single day for about 2 weeks. It was going up to about $200 million of volume every day. That's a crazy amount of buy and burn potential that our holders could take advantage of. So yeah, I think overall what we've got going on here, the tokenomics are fantastic, and the branding is fantastic. All we need to do now is get the word out, and I think people are going to follow. There's money to be made here, guys.
Cool. I think the best strategy is you guys partnering. So you got to get all these meme coins to list on 9inch, and then they'll get their community with them. That's your main focus right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as I said, shaking hands with everyone. We're very open. We want to work with people as much as we can, and we have got a lot of guys that we're talking to. I think we had something like 120 different tokens applied to be listed before we launched, so that's already quite bullish. I think about 70% of them were on the Pulse Chain side, so we're definitely going to be dominating on the Pulse Chain side without a doubt. But I think Ethereum side is the silent sleeper, because Ethereum obviously has a lot more money on it right now. It's just I feel a bit bad for Ethereum users with the extent of the gas fees right now. It really does suck when you've got to pay, I don't know, $40 to do a trade or something like that. So hopefully we can use this tool to get a few people over to Pulse Chain as well, but that's not really our aim here. Our aim is just to have thick liquidity and offer a better service and lower fees to anyone who decides that they want to use us. a lot of token founders have been in touch inquiring about how to do this. And as I said, I think it's about 120 different tokens that apply to be listed beforehand. And this is when no one knew about us. So I think in future, we're just going to continue to grow. And as we get bigger, it's like a downhill snowball effect. So as we chunk, say we get the Pepe guys on board, then it becomes a lot easier to get the Shiba Inu guys on board, and so on and so on and so on. So yeah, as we grow, it will develop very, very fast. And I think we're onto a winner here. I think that without giving any expectations, I think the product that we've built here should be worth billions of dollars market cap eventually.
Well, but good luck with what you're doing, man. Again, I'm completely out of the meme coin world, but I respect that you've bootstrapped this, and the strategy makes sense. So I wish you all the best, and yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you sponsoring the show. Anyone that wants to check out 9inch, check out on the pinned tweet at the top. And you can chat to them, you can communicate, you can reach out to them. Hexy is on stage as well. You can hit him up. But otherwise, Ryan and Scott disappeared. Scott has an emergency and Ryan probably dropped out. So I'll wrap up the show. Really appreciate it, everyone. Appreciate Hexy coming on and talking about 9inch.